You're on the best of the morning. Barnes, Leslie, and Jimmy. 99X.
Please welcome Academy Award winner for his great role in Sling Blade, Billy Bob Thornton. Hello, Billy Bob Thornton.
Hey,
Good morning. Welcome, sir.
Billy Bob, you up this early in L.A. too often, are you?
Well, usually I'm still up.
You're still up.
That's what we hear. Most of the people are just coming in from the 9. They do their 6 o'clock Pacific interviews.
Yeah. Are you are you one of these guys who likes to write in the middle of the night, or write music, or just watch TV? What do you do all night?
Yeah, actually, I do a lot of my writing at night and play music too. Most of this record that I've got coming out, most of it was recorded really late at night and early in the morning.
Are you and Angelina both night owls?
I am. She goes to sleep pretty early. 11 or 12. I'm usually up till 2 or 3.
And you've got to keep it down. Keep it down now, Billy Bob.
Exactly. Yeah. Our house is actually, it takes up 11 blocks. So I can
11
be pretty
blocks?
far away from. Yeah, no, not really.
11 blocks. But you're down to earth people, right?
You know what? To tell you the truth, I know this is going to sound like what you'd expect me to say in defense of us, but it's really true. We're way more normal than people would like to think.
Now, why do you guys get such a rap? I mean, everyone always says how weird you are and how strange you both are and
wild.
Why do you think that is if you're so normal? Where do they get it from?
I think a lot of it is, some of the stuff they say has some sort of basis in fact, but it's usually embellished or, taken the wrong way or whatever. But I think a lot of the stuff that we do is really not that big a deal, but it just sounds good, to talk about. So, this whole thing about vials of blood, they're not actually vials, they're little clear, what the hell do you call them? The lockets, like you put a picture in.
Uh-huh.
And, we poke our finger and put a drop of blood in it. It's just a symbolic thing,
Right. Well, that's still not normal. I mean, that's still out there.
Well, if it was in a movie with Mel Gibson and Michelle Pfeiffer, it would be romantic and it would win some kind of goofy award. But in real life, people don't seem to be able to take it. It's just it's just an odd thing that people seem to be interested in.
Yeah, and people don't want to hear that you guys are homebodies. That's just, not sexy enough,
Right.
Yeah. They really write about other stuff like I only eat orange food. I've got some sort of disease, and that's why I don't weigh much. A lot of things like that.
Well, when you got sick, I guess back in September of 2000, there were all these rumors about. But really, you just had a viral infection.
Yeah, I had a virus and had to go to the hospital. I just finished the Coen Brothers movie, and the one that it's coming out I think the 31st of October, and. In the movie, I play a guy in the 40s, sort of like Humphrey Bogart, and I smoked constantly in the movie, and I was a smoker at the time myself for 20 years, and I got bronchitis and sort of didn't go to the doctor or anything, and just ended up in the hospital, and I don't think the smoking helped any.
This is Billy Bob Thornton on the phone. And when you first came to Hollywood, I read once where you literally, you talk about a starving artist, but you literally almost starved to death. I mean, you had to go to the hospital for complications related to malnutrition.
Yeah, that's right. And I guess part of it, you would think, well, how could you suffer from malnutrition in this country? I think the problem was that, I was pretty down and out, but I didn't really know many people out here when I first got out here, and I think the ones I did know, I was too embarrassed to say that exactly how bad off I was, because you kind of always want to present the image that you're doing okay in the entertainment business. Nobody wants to know that about you, and
right.
So that's really how that happened. And when you don't eat for a few weeks, you lose all your potassium and your heart gets screwed up. It's the same thing that happens to an anorexic,
Right.
How did you and Angelina meet for the first time?
We had the same manager, and he told me years ago, he said, there's this young girl that I've got, that's going to really be something else. She's a terrific actress, and you guys are a lot alike. I want you to work together. The problem is I'm afraid to introduce you because I'm afraid you'll get married.
Right.
And you guys did quickly.
He was right.
Was it love at first sight?
Yeah, it was. We've been fast friends ever since, and there was a period of time when we couldn't be together,
Mm-hmm.
We were both with other people and this kind of thing, and but we always knew, and we just sort of lived our lives. And there's a song on my record about that. It's called Your Blue Shadow.
Well, and also the song that we just heard is called Angelina.
Right.
And it said, when I walked into an elevator, was that, did you meet in an elevator?
The first time we actually ever talked, and we'd seen each other at another thing before, and all this kind of thing, we're really aware of each other. But the first time we ever actually met was in an elevator, and she did walk into the wall. It was pretty cool. She called her mother.
She's got so many different looks. Every time I see her, I mean, she can change her look just 180 in a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what our manager meant at the time about that kind of thing, because I'm sort of known for changing in every movie, and she does too. And so, that's really the joy of acting, is to be able to play a different character every time, you know.
What has been your toughest role physically?
The toughest role physically was probably, just because of the conditions, probably Simple Plan.
Yeah, that was a great movie. I love that movie.
I did love that movie.
Oh, thanks a lot. Yeah,
being out in the cold like
really,
that.
It wasn't like, and you're talking obviously because of the conditions, because people might think, well, Carl in Sling Blade or the guy in U-Turn, you had to gain like 50 pounds for that.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, in U-Turn I didn't feel good physically, but that was sort of self-imposed, and also, I mean, while you're doing that, it doesn't feel so bad. I mean, there's nothing wrong with a Haagen-Dazs butterscotch shake.
No kidding.
Or something,
no kidding.
It's that can be a little fun, but, later on you start to get headaches and feel bad and everything. But a Simple Plan, in terms of actually making the movie, that was really, it was 50 and 60 below with the windshield a lot of times.
Wow.
We were up in Wisconsin and Minnesota during January and February. And plus, I was just sort of, sometimes I'll do a few things to kind of haunt myself a little, and I didn't sleep much on that movie. And,
like what? What can you do to haunt yourself?
Well, I mainly stay awake all the time. And I did, on Simple Plan, I stayed awake more than anything I've ever done.
Are you just an insomniac? Or
what does that do for you, for your character?
Well, when you haven't been to sleep, I'm sure you guys have at least spent a couple of days where you didn't sleep.
Oh, yeah.
And, it just puts you in a sort of, everything seems sort of surreal to you. Yeah.
It's not hard to then, but when you do that, it doesn't make it hard to act, to hit your mark and make sure and remember the next line. And
oh, you know what? I don't worry about that stuff anyway.
It might help your character in some of them to get that kind of just aloofness, just kind of out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's if you're worried about hitting your mark and what your lines are, you're kind of lost already anyway.
We're talking to Billy Bob Thornton. I want to talk about your CD, Private Radio. Do you plan to go out and tour with this CD, Billy?
Oh, yeah, definitely. We already had a tour scheduled.
What happened?
Yeah, you were supposed to come through here, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, we were coming there. We're going to play at what was the old center stage. I guess it's called Earthlink Live.
Yeah,
yes,
great
Earthlink
venue.
Live.
Great venue.
That's one of my favorite venues in this town. You'll love it.
What happened?
Oh, I can't wait. Well, actually, I've got 3 movies coming out for the end of the year, and I've got press junkets for all those and premieres for them. And my wife and I have a couple of really great personal things that are coming up pretty soon that we have to take a couple of trips on behalf of. And plus, we're starting the tour in London the day the record comes out. And, it just seemed like we were rushing it a little bit. And, and we were having to schedule the dates sort of in between all this movie stuff. And we weren't going to be able to play all the cities we wanted to play and everything. So we decided to go ahead and push it back some. And I can't wait to come there, because I've always had a real affection for you guys' area of the world. I like it down there. And
well, you're an Arkansas boy, so, you kind of know the South a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. And plus, I've hung out quite a bit in Athens over there with, Vic Chestnut and the guys in Widespread Panic and Bruce Hampton and all those guys.
Well, Billy Bob, I have to say, I thought before we talked to you that you're a pretty weird cat. I thought, great actor, weird dude, but you're pretty damn normal.
Oh, I try to be. Actually, to tell you the truth, we live a pretty normal life, and I've got little boys. They're 7 and 8 years old, and them and my wife are the center of my universe. And I love playing music, and I love doing movies and all of it. And we're kind of not as weird as we're portrayed. So
sounds like you've got the life, my friend.
Well,
yeah.
I'm sure trying.
We can't wait to meet you in person next year.
Yeah, thanks, Billy Bob.
I'd love to. I sure hope you guys have me by the station when I come down there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll do a little performance with you. That'd be great. Thank you so much.
The best of the morning X.